news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester. Absolutely gorgeous sunshine out there. Temperatures trying to respond, but it doesn't look like we're going to warm up all that much. Matter of fact, when you take a look at all the reporting stations around the state, no one is at 70. Hot spots in the state right now, Detroit, Monroe, and Benton Harbor, they're all coming in at 68. And even in the Upper Peninsula, we've got low to middle 60s there. So very consistent all across the Upper and the Lower Peninsula. If there is a cold spot at all, it's 59, and that's Mackinac Island. Everybody else on the land is looking at least 60 degrees, if not warmer. I say everybody, that includes us. Matthew, what do we have on the temperatures right now?
Right now, over at the airport, it's sunny at 65. Over in Midland, it's sunny at 66. Here at Radio Center, it's sunny at 64. We have north winds at 9, gusting up to 20 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 30.01, and it's steady.
We'll continue to see those winds as we go through the remainder of the day, and we are going to be looking at temperatures trying to crack the 70-degree mark. I think we should hit it, but it is going to be a little bit on the cool side. It won't take much of a breeze to chill right down. And, of course, tonight with clear skies, it'll be chilly. We'll have a light southeast breeze under 5 miles per hour. It's going to drop down by, midnight or so to 54. And we will have some temperatures in the mid to upper 40s across northern Michigan. As a matter of fact, we started the morning off in Houghton Lake at 47, West Branch 52, the Tawases and Au Gres at 50, Gladwin, you started off at 49 this morning, Bad Axe at 53, Caseville 55, as well as Sandusky, Harbor Beach coming in, and Midland at 54. Bay City started off at 56, MBS International and here at Radio Center 56, Mount Pleasant 53, but then a few warm spots, Vassar, Lapeer, and Flint, all starting off at 60 and 61. We owe it all to a high-pressure system, which is taking up residence over on the west side of the Upper Peninsula. That high is going to drift to the south, wind up just east of Chicago later on this afternoon. And then overnight tonight, that high is going to be moving off to the east a little bit, and it'll usher in the opportunity for, not just so much clear skies as it will be some warmer temperatures as we go into the day on Friday. That high-pressure system will be moving over into Ohio and western Pennsylvania. And as a result, it is going to warm our temperatures up. We're going to begin to see a little bit more southerly breeze tomorrow, 10, 12 miles per hour out of the south, increasing to gusts to 20 miles per hour tomorrow night. Along with that is going to come more clouds. We'll start off the day with sunshine. We'll get up to about 78, 79 degrees, but then the clouds will increase because of a low-pressure system over the northwestern part of Minnesota. That's going to be moving east, but eventually what it will do is, first of all, push a warm front up through the state. So tomorrow night, we'll only drop down to about 69, and then during the day on Saturday, we'll be up into the low 80s. 58 will be our low on Saturday night. In the meantime, in between, we are going to be seeing a chance of some scattered shower activity on Friday night, especially after midnight into the early morning hours on Saturday. All that shower will be dissipating as we work our way through the late morning. And we should finish off a good part of the day on Saturday with cloudy skies, but there will be glimpses of sun, and it definitely will be warmer. Partly cloudy skies, I think, as we go into Saturday afternoon. 82 for a high. We are going to have a southwest wind gusting to 30 miles per hour on Saturday. Clear sky Saturday night, 59. Then on Sunday, we'll start off with a few clouds, but be mostly sunny. Once again, we'll have another frontal system, a cold front that will move through. 72 is going to be our high on Sunday. Clear sky Sunday night with a low of 50. Then on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, upper 70s to low 80s. Sunshine on Monday. Clouds will be on the increase on Tuesday. And later in the day on Tuesday and Tuesday night, we will be looking at a threat of some shower activity around. Wednesday, with temperatures in the middle 80s, we'll have a chance of some showers. But again, it's not going to be over all the entire state, but it will be a little bit more than isolated or scattered. We'll have, I want to say about 30 to 40% of the landmass will get hit by some form of shower on Wednesday. So as far as folks trying to get some drying days, it is going to be a little difficult. Today, things are drying down very nicely. Unfortunately, we will have to contend with a chance of some showers on Friday night and early Saturday morning. Those chances, they're going to be a lot more widespread, but hopefully not a lot of precipitation. And then on Sunday, Monday, and probably a good part of the day on Tuesday, we shouldn't have to deal with any precipitation. Normal high for this time of the year is 81, normal low 60. Record high in this state set back in 1933 and tied in 1971. We had quite a stretch toward the tail end of June in 1971 where our temperatures were over the 100-degree mark. And that's exactly what we had on this date back in 1971. Record low on this date, 46. It was set back in 1926. A year ago, 75 was our high, 61 was our low. We had no precipitation to talk about. The coldest ever, 27th of June, set back in 1925. The warmest ever in 1933, with that temperature at 100 degrees during the day. And at night, we only dropped down to about 72. More on the weather. Oh, incidentally, long-range outlook. For those of you that are interested, next week, 4th of July week, where the 4th is on a Thursday, and a lot of folks are probably going to try to take off a little bit earlier. We're not looking for a big warm-up next week. Temperatures will be pretty close to normal. Precipitation values will be a little bit above, but then once we get into the weekend after the 4th and the following week, our temperatures are going to begin to rev up a little bit. We're looking for above average on the temps, above average on the moisture. As I said, more coming up. Matthew, who do we have on the deck next?
Up next, we have Melinda Sweeney from the Andersons, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth. We've been telling you about those farm-all tractors, baling, cutting hay, feeding, hauling, mowing, chopping, fertilizing, mixing feed, seeding, clearing, irrigating, cultivating, hitching, digging, emergency towing. The list goes on and on and on because that farm all will do just about anything you ask. And they've got horsepower ranges anywhere from 35 to 140 horse. So the job will get done. All you got to do is get the right size, and that's where the folks at Weiss Equipment come in. anywhere from the value-packed Compact Farmall A to the Deluxe Compact Farmall C and C Series with cabs. No matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red, and it is called Farmall. Find out more. See them today at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. We say good morning to Melinda Sweeney at the Andersons. How we doing?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Hey, not too bad. The last time I looked, it looked as though wheat was trying to recover a little.
Yeah, we have wheat up 17, corn down 1, and beans down 5. Yesterday, we rolled off the July to the set, so corn is trading lower this morning with September contracts having taken out yesterday's lows and making new contract lows, despite some pressure in what forecasts in the flooding areas across the Midwest. The extended forecast is showing above temperature in the eastern corn belt, but more significant heat will be further in the south, and the south is also going through some drought conditions. It's kind of mixed. The Ukraine grain exports have increased by 3.9% so far this season, which started on July 1st, to 50.3 million metric tons. Of that number, 18.3 million metric tons were wheat, which is almost 10% over year. So Russian-Ukrainian wheat offers continue to take precedent in the export market with such cheap prices. So wheat's up a little bit, which is great, trying to recover some of the losses we had, but corn and beans can't seem to dig themselves out of the hole.
You know, we need some half-wheat east weather here to get this wheat crop off. I would imagine where you are and all around, that wheat has really progressed and it's just about ready to go.
Yeah, we'll start to see some wheat probably next week, and definitely in the following week, second week of July, we'll see quite a bit of wheat coming in. It's a good bit earlier this year, but it's exciting to get it done and over with, I guess.
And the head count looks pretty good right now, too.
Yeah, so far out of Ohio, we've been hearing good yields, 90 to 105 bushels to the acre, which is a bit better than their average, and haven't heard any toxin issues yet in our area. So that's also good news.
Yeah, it is very good news, because that's one of the last things these guys want to see once they try to get that weed off, is to have some number issues to worry about.
Right. Tomorrow, we do have a USDA report coming out at noon. We have that report this Friday. The market is open for 3 days. Next Thursday, on the 4th of July, the board will be closed. So there could be a decent amount of volatility this next week, just with how this report falls, not being a full trading week next week, and a lot of people out of the office for the 4th of July.
Yeah, I'm just kind of curious, too. I would assume that with the wheat crop the way it is, a lot of the grain elevators are going to have to figure out if they're going to have somebody there if we got some wheat in trucks coming in.
Yeah, that's why we encourage any customers, any commercial you're working with, definitely give them a call and give them a heads up before that day so they can get a plan in place and make sure they have hours available.
Sounds good. Melinda, you have a nice weekend. We probably won't talk next Thursday. You have a really safe 4th of July holiday, okay?
Thanks, you guys too.
Will do. Melinda Sweeney over at the Andersons. A little bit more in depth. What's going on? Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining me. The market report brought to you by Freeland Bean and Grain. You know, they've been serving folks since 1983 with all sorts of products. Great selection of products from Sure Crop and Nature's. Also, a certified crop advisor, Vic Huffer, who's been taking care of business, answering a lot of questions, doing a lot of scouting. That's what it's all about. Serving you is their business, and that's what they're doing at Freeland Bean and Grain. Market report also brought to you by Steiner Tractor. New parts for old tractors made really easy. You know, they take their job personally at Steiner Tractor Parts because they understand how your life and job both stop if your tractor stops running. 800-234-3280, or you can go to their website at steinertractor.com. Say good morning to Doug Klein. How are we looking, Doug?
Well, we're looking okay. It's nothing horrible today. You know, it's end of a quarter, end of the half coming up here. So You're going to see some window dressing. I think you're already seeing some window dressing in the mutual funds and the managed accounts and all that stuff. Nobody wants to be caught with a stock that didn't do well this quarter or so far this year. So they're getting dumped, and the stocks that look pretty in the window, they're gonna be okay for a while. So you got going on. Walgreens had their earnings. They were terrible. That's where poor people shop, apparently, because whatever, they're down 54% year to date. Not a recommendation from me to buy that thing, but it's yielding something in the neighborhood of 8% on a dividend, and it's down, like I said, over half for the year. Who knows where it goes, but we'll see. Jamie Dimon said that the Fed's stress test at JP Morgan was probably didn't show all the losses that they're actually hiding on the books. And that's kind of interesting coming from, the guy that sort of runs that bank, saying that bank is in not so good a shape. So I don't know what he's thinking there, but we'll see. We will always see what happens in a couple months or weeks or years. I don't know, whatever it takes. But anyway, so here's your numbers. July corn is 416.5, down 3.5. December corn 434, down 2.5. July soybeans 1155.75, down 7. The November soybeans 1104 3/4, down 2 1/4. July wheat 557.5, up 16 1/4. And December wheat is 598.5, up 15.5. Crude oil is 81.68. That's up 80 cents. Heating oil is 257.20, up 2 cents. Gasoline is 255.54, up a penny. Natural gas 273.5 is down 1/10 of a penny. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.3694 Canadian. That's about unchanged. The dollar buys 160.68 yen. That's down 11 ticks. And they're talking seriously about intervening. They say if they can't stop the fall of the yen, that could yield a currency crisis of sorts. And it's nothing anybody wants to see. So they're going to have to do something. The euro's at 107.06. That's up 27 ticks. The dollar's at 105.85, down 20 ticks. Gold is at $23.2640, up $25.40. Silver's $29.01, up 8 cents. Platinum's at $990.70, down 32 bucks, and copper's $435.80. That's down 1 penny.
All righty. You have a good one, Doug.
Thanks. Yep, you too.
Thank you. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Well, Mother Nature is just like a good relief pitcher. All sorts of junk coming at you. You really don't know what you're going to be able to hit. Unfortunately, what that means for farmers is you don't know what to expect when that field looks so good, and a lot of them do. Maybe you should be talking to the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency, because their risk management team has been working overtime to try to make sure that you stay protected against whatever Mother Nature is going to throw at you. And of course, hail insurance, well, that covers losses due to hail. They've got a wide variety of opportunity there for you to take a look at. Coverage also includes vandalism and transit to your farm, so check it out. Remember, the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency is licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. Now, their agents can be reached directly on their cell for questions or emergencies, or you can give them a call in Reese, 989-868-4722. That's the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. We say good morning to Joe Kramer, Executive Director of the Michigan Bean Commission. Joe, how are you this morning?
I'm doing pretty good, Terry. The sun is shining. I'm happy.
Yeah, the sun is shining, and driving through the neighborhoods, it looks as though the dry beans that they put in, especially the blacks, are looking pretty good right now.
I think so too. Chatting with a few farmers around the Thumb and Saginaw Valley. There's of course some pockets that have had too much rain, and you can see some of the holes in the various crops. It's certainly including dry beans, but all in all, I'm not sure we planted everything in the best of conditions, but we're up and going. So happy to be where we are today.
Let's talk a little bit about overseas, Joe.
Well, let's go south, Terry. You and I have been kind of watching the weather map over the big production area in Mexico, and last week we saw some swirling out in the Gulf that did move across. We're really struggling to get good information out of there. One guy told me yesterday all the bean producing areas got nice rains, and he's sure that everybody's going to plant 100% of their crop as they come into their planting season. Another guy told me that one area got adequate rain. The biggest part of the country didn't really get enough to make a big difference. So I'm working hard to see if we can't learn more about that. But I honestly think that's the single biggest opportunity. I hate to say it that way, but the biggest single opportunity for our growers to see better pricing is based on that drought.
And again, we're not the only ones that are raising beans here in the United States.
For sure. Our friends in North Dakota, I think, probably went in a little bit later. They've been struggling with some moisture like we have. I think Ontario's a kind of a mirror image of where we're at. I hear pretty good things about Manitoba, so always trying to learn more about what's happening in those areas and how it's gonna affect us right here at home.
I'm looking at the radar right now, and especially southeastern North Dakota, all of South Dakota, well, the eastern half anyway. Very heavy storms moving through there right now. It looks as though they've been getting a pretty good chunk of rain over the last few days.
Yeah, we've been watching that too. That southern Minnesota region is a beautiful production area that has a lot of nice navy beans and more black beans all the time down there. And that area, I think, takes water pretty good. But as you move toward sort of that Fargo area, there's not a lot of beans up in that area today, like there was years and years ago. But still, the ones that are there do not like those heavy downpours, as you know.
Well, I guess not. Joe, always good to talk. Hopefully we can connect next week, okay?
Thanks, Terry. Stay in touch.
You bet. Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission. Coming up, Matthew, who do we have?
Up next, we have Jerry Samolsky from the Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville.
But first, this.
It happens after every commercial building gets built.
That looks great, boys. Wow, what a change. The owners are going to be thrilled.
Even after cleaning out the garage or shed. That leftover scrap metal can be a burden, but it doesn't have to be, and it can make you some cash. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal is a metal recycling company that'll pay you cash and recycle your metal for the future. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal also makes it easy. We can provide containers for industrial manufacturing facilities and small specialty shops for moving and storing scrap metals. Looking to scrap a vehicle? We got you. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal in Saginaw, just north of the Dow Event Center. Also located in West Branch, 1 mile off I-75 and M76. Schedule a car pickup or check metal prices now at rifkin-co.com. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal, recycling today for tomorrow.
We've got the plan of the week with Jerry Samolsky. Jerry, what do you have?
Well, Terry, Gertrude Stein liked it back in 1913, and she said a rose is a rose is a rose is a way of describing, no matter what you call it or how you present it, it's still going to be a rose. And now today we say it's like putting lipstick on a pig. So I think Gertrude is a little more eloquent, and the rose is just that plant. It's a beautiful, eloquent plant. We have primarily shrub roses and carpet and drift roses, more horizontal roses today that we're selling. There are 37,000 varieties of roses available. The American Rose Society recognizes those. So it's just a ton of different varieties. So the carpet and drift and knockouts are all upright. They're easy to care for. The biggest thing is they do want full sun. They really want to be baked. They like it hot, and they like some water and fertility, and the diseases then tend to be much less. So you can grow them. You can grow them easy. Just make sure you got a lot of sun and a lot of food.
Very good. Jerry, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Over to Baird & Company we go. Teresa, good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, much better than the markets have been, I'll tell you that.
Oh, it's not too bad. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 61 points at 39,188, 250 million shares traded. NASDAQ is down a bit at down 984 at 17,795, 381 million shares traded. Some stocks of local interest include Caterpillar, 326.92, up 19, Deere, 377, up 75, CMS Energy, 60.01, up 40, Dow 53.15, down a nickel, DuPont 80, down 3, Corteva 53.74, up 10, General Motors 45.73, down 4, Trinzio 255, up 4, Walmart 68.10, down 19, Huntington Bank at 12.78, up 7, Independent Bank 25.27, up 39, and AT&T at 18.68, down 8.
Teresa, thank you so much. We now conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coins in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton,